again, floating through the silence in my cold skin. My body is wearing thin. My fears tell me I'll never win. My body is wearing thin. And there's darkness here. The whole world I fear. In my room I seem to drown. But I won't let them take me down. I won't let them take me down. I won't let them take me down, down,
And with those strange in-game sounds that I managed to catch as the audio came back on, we are back with Blood in the Streets Dota 2 Championship. I'm the source. Joining me today is Drag and Drop Dota. We are into our loser semifinals with Comanche and M19. How are you doing today, man?
For the draft at the very least, so we can talk a little bit about these teams and how they got here, because it's going to be a little bit interesting with the way the Tier 2 seems shaping up right now after the TI qualifiers and the tournament in general. We've got a few teams dropping out, and then originally we had 2 games scheduled for today. One of those has already fallen through as well. But at the very least, we've got M19 for this Comanche, which I'm very excited about.
We lost it. Or at least I lost it.
What?
I got disconnected.
Oh, okay.
I was about to switch things over to the draft, and all of a sudden I was like about to click it, and then everything decided to die.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, with the we've had a couple of teams dropping out of the tournament, but it just seems to be chaos in the Tier 2 scene right now. At least yeah. I haven't been paying much attention to what NA has been up to, but in terms of, you know, various EU teams and CIS teams, it seems like yes, the TI qualifiers are over. Yes, this is kind of the time to take a break to reevaluate, but it does seem to be a bit of chaos this year.
Yeah, I mean it's not uncommon, especially after these qualifiers, because that's like the one fixture that a lot of these teams look towards, and then as I said, reevaluate themselves and see whether they want to go on or whether they want to make changes. And the problem is that it does affect tournaments like these, which are kind of partly before the qualifiers, partly afterwards. But yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with this. Anyway, M19, they've just been one of these teams that actually stuck around since the beginning. So did Comanche. M19 dropped down to APB, down to the lower brackets. Comanche, I believe they came in replacing one of the other teams. Yeah, they replaced Crescendo. They won against Penta 2-0 the other day, and now they're here. This is still a lower bracket match, so one of these teams will be dropping out on a regular schedule, you could say.
Yeah, so I believe it was Sonic yesterday. He played the support Morphling. Is that what we're seeing with this pick, or is it a little bit more of a flex because they know they can play a support Morphling and are possibly willing to take that as a core?
Yeah, I didn't actually get to watch that match the other day, unfortunately. But when you say support Morphling, that's definitely something that I wouldn't classify as common.
But the thing is, like, he did it, and he did it fairly well.
Yeah, it's not like it's really bad, because there's been a while, or there's been a phase, like a couple of months ago, I want to say, maybe even longer, I'm really bad with these kind of timings, but we've seen an off-lane Morphling who just went heavy into strength, so I suppose a support Morphling would do the same thing. Because then you end up with a 4.25 second stun on the Adaptive Strike, which is, just for reference, that's longer than a Roar, on a very, very low cooldown. So in that sense, it can actually be very, very good support that can also theoretically scale into the extra damage needed into the late game. So yeah, that's what they're doing, then man, I'm even more excited than I was just a couple of minutes ago. But M19, regardless of whether it's going to be a core or support Morphling, they've set themselves up quite nicely here. Sanking, Disruptor, very standard start for them, and very strong teamfight combination already, right? Disruptor, especially with the silence up against the Morphling, preventing him from getting that morph off to make himself more tanky here if he's caught out. So yeah, they're pretty well set up to try and deal with anything that Comanche wants to throw at them, unless they want to, unless they can get some more good combos together with the Ancient Apparition. Because of course the Ice Blast can kind of mess you up.
Yeah. So there was the patch a few days ago. There were a couple of changes to, I want to say it was Night Stalker. Did Queen of Pain get any changes in that patch?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Base damage reduced by 4, lifesteal reduced from 70 to 6% at level 25 talents, so I think that's manageable.
Yeah.
Base damage is just a small little adjustments here for the laning stage. Try and nerf her down a little bit, because she was getting pretty damn popular going back into the mid lane slot.
Yeah, definitely kind of. It seemed like people were taking her as a catch-all. It's like, okay, we don't have a great mid lane pick here. We take Queen of Pain, and we don't really, make our lives too difficult. Gives you a bit more team fight. Gives you somebody whose lane phase is fairly safe. You've got some roaming, so it seemed like a good catch-all pick.
It's a very stable pick for sure.
Yeah, I feel like we've been seeing a bit more Dragon Knight, or is that just a regional thing out of CIS?
I'm gonna say it's CIS. Yeah. It's a lot of these teams kind of like to have that. Once again, it's another one of these very stable picks. Wouldn't be too surprised to see that get more prevalent, because it does give you a very tanky mid laner that doesn't really get ganked by these 4-position heroes that are popular, or get ganked easily, I should say, because it's a very hard kill in most circumstances. And he's also one of these heroes that can secure objectives very early on. Like if the other mid lane is rotating out, you just press your ultimate and then you take down the tier 1 mid very, very fast. Otherwise, you can just link up with the rest of your team along the side lanes and do the same thing there. And then, what do you know? You have map control. And that's kind of the idea around the Dragon Knight. And then you're looking for this kind of mid-game timing, where you have this guy as this very tanky character, it's kind of an anchor in a team fight. Also have a very good single target stun. It's on a rather low cooldown, so it's another one good hero for that, for these kind of drafts, especially when you're thinking about these teamfight heroes. But you need someone that can actually make use of the fact that you have good teamfight, either by, or mostly by forcing the other team to go into you and actually have to try and engage in the teamfight, rather than trying to work around it and avoid it. And the best way to do that is to just put pressure on towers. So not sure if this time around M19 will want to think about it, but for now they've got the Enchantress. So when you think about early pressure and a bit of tower push, that also fits into the same category.
5 seconds remaining.
Comanche with the Nyx Assassin, also one of these rather popular 4-position heroes for the most part. Could still be an offlaner, so they're a bit flexible with their draft still. Whereas for M19, you kind of know the Disruptor is going to be that support, now with the Enchantress pick as well. This most likely means a Sanking in the offlane, or could also be an Enchantress offlane, but I think Enchantress is more more effective in 4 position when you can just get to 1 or 2 creeps early on and just roll between lanes. Like if you lock in the offlane, it just takes away a lot of that potential that you have.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know what to think about this Weaver pick now, because you're already up against the
5
Disruptor,
seconds remaining.
which is a classic counter to the Weaver. You can keep track of him with the Thunder Strike, even if he goes in with. You can glimpse him back, you can catch him in Kinetic Field, and the Static Storm, of course, once Disruptor hits level 6, is a death sentence for any sort of Weaver. Unless he has some serious help, but right now Comanche have no saving heroes whatsoever. So their draft so far seems like all guns forward kind of thing.
So off lane or mid
10
mid Weaver,
seconds remaining.
Juggernaut.
or even safe. Actually, I don't know, because
Dire team back.
I think safe lane, because Ancient Apparition is a hero that doesn't necessarily help you in lane all that much, unless you have a tri-lane going already. Right? And with the Morphlings also, if that does end up being a support, it's also
10 seconds remaining.
very mediocre early on. So it's actually a very weak lane, so you want a 1-position hero that can deal with that can also stay on his own and still get some levels, get some CS, and the Weaver does fit that role nicely, even up against pressure heroes like a Sanking and an Enchantress early on. So I think that's the plan here. This could be like a mid Morphling even.
Radiant team pick.
Thinking of it now, but M19, they have a Juggernaut as a mid option, which is decent enough against that, I would think. Don't think I've actually ever seen that matchup, but that's a dog.
10 seconds remaining.
Don't think I've ever actually seen that matchup,
5
but
seconds remaining.
Juggernaut, Poorman Shield, you can trade very effectively. You have the spin
Reserve time.
to keep yourself safe, and of course your Healing Ward to keep you sustained, but looks like it's going to be the Dragon Knight after all that we were talking about earlier. So he is going to be taking over that mantle. Once again, very hard to deal with early on for any sort of roaming hero. Should be very safe in the middle lane, Juggernaut in the safe lane as a result. So the only question that M19 still is leaving open is whether that's a Sanking off lane, which seems more likely than the Enchantress. Alright, so it is going to be the support Morphling once again on Sonic, Harkon on the Nyx Assassin, so he's going to be taking over the off lane. And that's safe lane Weaver on Man, and the Death Prophet rounding out the lineup. Pretty good matchup up against the Dragon Knight. Of course, the Spirit Siphon, very great against melee heroes in general, and it's one of these lanes that Dragon Knight is kind of used to, right? You're not really going to win it, but you're not going to lose it heavily either, right? You can still kind of stand back, not die, and grab some CS with a Breathe Fire. So that's a good harassment tool, and just
10 seconds
also makes you able to, or gives you the ability to trade very
5
effectively
seconds remaining.
if you get on top of the Death Prophet, or just allows you to walk up to the creep wave, go for a couple of last hits without having to worry too much about the right-click damage, because of course it does take away a percentage of that from the Death Prophet. So yeah, overall I do like M19's lineup much better, I must say. A good mix of early pressure, tower taking potential, decent scaling into the mid game with the Juggernaut and the Enchantress as well. A lot of this early game is going to be riding on her to make something happen or grab control of the lanes. And if you look at Comanche's lineup, I don't think they have too many ways of actually dealing with that. So, unless I'm completely underestimating the support Morphling in the early game, I don't see them having a really fun time. There. Game number 1 here is best of 3. Classic pause here, just make sure that everything is sorted. And take a look at the lanes as they shape up. Fennec, of course, on the Sand so he will be that off laner as is the best way to run it. And my team playing with a stand-in right now. I'm not sure who this disruptor is, and I have no way of actually pronouncing that name that he's coming up with. So I'm just gonna call him Disruptor as he finds out the Morphling and prevents him from placing down at early ward. It's always interesting to see these kind of movements. Sometimes you get lucky and you intercept. Other times, both teams just pass by each other like ships in the night. So far so good. No one's planted just yet. Ancient Apparition up top here. Has one in his inventory as well. But it's probably just to keep an eye on the Sand I'll plant that down eventually. 3 mangoes on this next assassin. This is hilarious.
30 seconds.
It's like 4 base region, add +3 from the mangoes. He's not gonna have to. He's not gonna be worried about health points anytime soon. Especially if he wants to go into the Poor Man Shield even. Doesn't have it lined up just yet. It's maybe a bit of a waste. Especially considering that Juggernaut is a pretty decent matchup here for the next assassin. Of course, Spin doesn't really care about spike characters.
The battle begins.
If you don't have boots, you can get run down fairly easily here, and especially once ILTW on Juggernaut picks up the face boots of his own. So, should be a decent enough matchup here for M19 down at the bottom. Up to a point where Juggernaut doesn't actually need too much help. Disruptor will probably stick around. He's even doing some more damage to Sonic here. And another boss. We have had some issues with the Dota servers. Just based on the fact that the player cards got released the other night. And it did cause some issues, to say the least. Luckily, the game coordinator came back, and theoretically it shouldn't be impacting game servers as much, so maybe it's a different issue. Something to keep in mind. This is Raptor, probably just gonna block a creep camp here and then walk back to lane. Annoy the Nyx assassin a little bit. Try to zone him out, which is, once again, it's not gonna be easy. Disruptor okay at zoning out solo offliners, but if you have 7 health regen, plus the mana burn skill first, so Disruptor doesn't actually have a whole lot of Thunder Strikes to throw out now. But yeah, the most important part about this Juggernaut is that at least the Enchantress free to roam. Misha doesn't need to be down there to make sure that he has good lanes. So instead, he's joining funding up top. He found himself a Satyr Tormentor already, which is a pretty fun creep early on for the laning stage. Can throw down some nukes. The health region is great. And Martin, gotta be careful. He has some level 1 in the Sand King, so can't actually throw out the stun. Dire Courier has been killed, so Disruptor actually making some plays here. Making his best bounty hunter impression, but still looking at his top lane because his pressure is real. Once again, Satyr Tormentor throwing out the shockwaves can make a huge difference early on. Then on top of that, the Wildwing Ripper throwing down that tornado, making it very annoying to just stay in lane. Basically, gotta keep moving. Also, just gonna take so much damage over time. Misha just refreshed the enchant here on the Satyr Tormentor. Another shockwave card down to half health. It's exactly what I was afraid. What I'm afraid was going to happen.
Gotcha.
Once the Sand King gets a couple of extra levels, he'll have a stun to work with that has a decent range. So could very easily see First Blood happening up here. especially if Enchantress maybe finds a couple of better creeps for it. And there's a decent one, Centaur Conqueror. So you have that Stomp available. The best one would be perhaps the Troll for the nets, so you have a bit of a range disable. Make sure Funny can get in range, but once Funny gets level 3, if level 2 Burrow Strike, that's a decent enough range to set up for any sort of Centaur follow-up. Take a quick look at middle lane, see how this works out. Actually, Dragonite. Alright. I said Dragonite is never really going to lose the lane, but yeah, there it is, top lane. It's actually happening right now. The Storm comes through, hits on 2, actually also connecting on the Weaver after the first blood was already been spilled. And Phonic, dropping low, but not low enough. Can just heal it up now with the Salve, and they'll be just fine. They can do that again if one more Stomp in the center, but no mana on Sand King if he doesn't want to pop that Mango. Yeah. Wouldn't be too surprised to see them try and do that once they find an opening, but Centaur's actually going to expire. So Misha pops another enchant on it. But this middle lane. I was mentioning how Dragonite doesn't really lose the lane, but I did not expect him to dominate this hard. 24 last hits, 8 denies, to 7 and 0 on the side of Death Prophet. This shouldn't really be happening. Just by virtue of Quips Form spam, you should have been able to secure more CS. But anyway, up top, card managing to juke the Centaur. Still being slowed down. Phonic comes through with the Burst Strike under the tier 2, followed with a Storm. This will be another kill. Phonic might actually die in return. One more tower shot would have maybe done the trick, but as it stands, Misha can just heal him back up. And hey, guess what? He still has the Mango to work with, so if they want to go on Martin, it's a real possibility, but they're out of creeps. I'll let the Centaur expire because, well, no mana to work with. Makes him a little bit more useless than he normally is. So this top lane is working out in favor of M19. Nyx in the middle lane is absolutely dominating. Bottom lane, Juggernaut is also very good and a very good standing in terms of CS. What does Comanche have got going for themselves? Harkon on the Nyx Assassin. He's almost level 5, so they haven't really been able to zone him out. So once he hits level 6, maybe can make something happen. Or maybe they can set up on a Dragon Knight here. Can't make a rotation through, the slow's coming in. Will the Coldfield proc? Not quite, and he has 2 points up on Dragon Blood, throws down a stun. But Sonic, well, intercepting him, body blocks coming through, so it took them a while. But they do manage to actually make that work. That's a really important kill, especially with the Staff Prophet involved. Alright, so this Morphling, let's actually talk about this a little bit, and not sure how it worked out last time around, but so far Sonic, I think he's just been farming the jungle very slowly. He's managed to get himself level 3.5. He does have boots in the stash, plus a few utility items, including the smoke, so maybe I want to try and make something happen with that. Start throwing out some stuns. And that's the time that lines up with the Nyx Assassin, then yeah, maybe you can make some of these kills happen. As it stands, M19 doing a rotation of their own. Phonic ready with a stun, and this has been scouted out though by this Observer Ward, so they know exactly what's going on. But well, Nyx Assassin, he still goes in. Death Prophet with the ultimate, extra help coming through, the stun onto the Dragon Knight into the Cold Feet. Follow-up damage is there, 1-for-1 trade so far, but very much in favor of Comanche. Well, that's the way that they want to play it. That stun from the Morphling long enough to make sure the Cold Feet procs. Then that's another, what, 2 seconds on top of it? Yeah. That's a little stun duration, but okay. MP actually managing to run down the Enchantress as well with that ultimate. Yeah. Alright. That was a very effective combo, I'm not gonna lie. They can keep doing that, well, all power to them. But that was all set up by this vision. If it wasn't for this ward in the middle lane, they wouldn't have been able to respond to this in time. Might have just lost the Death Prophet before she could even pop the Exorcism. So. And that's on cooldown now for another 80 seconds. It's an opening for M19 to once again try and stabilize. But speaking of stabilization, the bottom disruptor almost dying. And now LTW, well, catching Hakon in the kinetic field. The Omni Slash just before the stun could come out. That'll be an easy kill for the Juggernaut. Showing off his own level 6. Sonic almost at Arcane Boots. He'll be able to throw out more stuns. Nick Assassin though, not quite level 6 on the back because of that kill. But once Hakon hits that in the next minute or so, it's another source of pressure that Comanche can put up. And they're definitely gonna need that, right? Martin on the Weaver. Still kind of being zoned out. He does have the Perseverance, but not much more to work with really. Kind of miracle he's got as much CS as he has, but well, his farming space is going to be restricted now with Misha having 2 creeps to work with, including the Troll, and of course the Dragon Knight making that rotation up top together with his ultimate and Martin. Gotta be careful, you do have your level 6 available, so time maps is a thing. I don't think these 3 heroes actually have enough burst damage, but it's always a little bit scary. 3 heroes are walking close to you like that. Alright, Nick's Assassin level 6, so go start looking out for those Vendetta ganks. Dragon Knight still has a little bit of his ultimate left as he TPs to mid, so he'll be able to maybe get a few more right clicks off on that. Good value out of that, and the glimpse back here onto Ancient Apparition, but no stun follow possible. As he just lost the range, so I'll be just try and bait out a reaction perhaps. Right, so far so good for M19. They did take a little bit of a tumble in that mid fight, but now they should be aware of the capabilities of Comanche. But LTW, he's not aware of where everyone is on the side of Comanche right now. 3 heroes around him. Hakon, oh, looking for stun, will lead off with it. Follow from Sonic available. That'll be the end of that. Now if they want to, they can turn this into a tower push. Especially with the Exorcism and Mima in mid though. Well, they get a glimpse onto cards, so this is dead. Ancient Apparition should be at any rate here. Stun available from Nyx, doesn't throw it out, doesn't need it in the end. Just goes for the nuke instead. Misha was there for security purposes, so... Well, another Dragon Form committed. Misha there with a Troll. And we'll trade towers here. NT committed his own ultimate for the bottom tier 1. Should be a straight 1-for-1 trade unless there's some more stuns and glimpses coming through. Nothing so far though. LTW also joined the party. The safety in numbers, M19 says, and yeah, why not go? Why not continue? Even got themselves an extra siege creep from the Dire's side, so it's actually quite effective. But now Sonic comes through with a stun. The healing ward's still available here, helping keeping the Dragon Knight alive, and Cold Feet a little bit too late. Oh wow, it's still got a proc though with the body blocks from the creeps. Man making rotation here, gets the box on the DK. 4 heroes around him all of a sudden, including the Wolfling Replicate. Also extremely valuable to have that on your team. And with that, they can even take the tier 1 themselves. Or at least do a significant amount of damage. The rest of M19, they just kind of left him to die. Just trying to use that space that he gained by pushing down top a glimpse into Omni Slash. Yeah, it's an easy kill. And it's actually Disruptor taking it as LTW. Didn't quite have enough damage with the Omni Slash alone. He'll also be able to do some damage to tier 2. Tier 1 mid's actually still being worked on. Nick's coming through, coming back. Misha also making an appearance. It's gonna be enough to shoot him off, but now, okay, the stun on the Juggernaut, the healing ward will be taken care of. The Static Storm to turn us around though, it doesn't actually catch anybody though. And the Death Prophet able to keep the Spirit Siphon going, just walking around. If it wasn't for this Juggernaut death, and that was gonna be a good trade for M19 as it stands. Comanche on a pretty good path, NT, despite this horrendous middle lane. 6 kills. He got every single one of Comanche's kills. And he also has a Midas going, so 1k ahead of Juggernaut. Veil to work with as well. This is a very scary death probably at this point. With another ultimate to work with in 10 seconds, so... should be the point where the tier 1 mid dies, or perhaps the bottom tier 2. Hakon is scouting out Nyx, but the rest of his team is actually smoked up behind him. This could turn into a bit of a disaster for Comanche this time around, if Hakon shows himself as it stands. Don't think they know he's there. Just forcing a team fight here, pushing a tower, but Funny, his smoke breaks. He sees Death Prophet here. Ultimate came through already, but Funny instantly dies already. M19 making wraparound here, stun on Tomanos to keep him off. And they settle on the Ancient Apparition, but he gets his Ice Blast off before he dies. That will help take down the Dragon Knight, and, well, M19 didn't quite expect that particular positioning, and the bleeding hasn't stopped quite yet. Martin, he catches the Disruptor here, but hey, guess what? Glimpse will keep him away, but will not keep Sonic from stunning him from the high ground. Follow up from the Hakon. Martin ready to catch up and grab the kill for himself, so... there's just some superior positioning from Comanche. They're expecting this rotation. They were sitting on the high grounds, and M19... they were expecting the rotation to come a little bit later. They were expecting to be the ones setting up on near the shrine, pushing down the tower, and then expecting Comanche to come in like from this kind of direction, or maybe even TP into the shrine on top of the vision. But it's not exactly what happened. That Comanche actually claimed the lead, only slightly in terms of net worth, but quite a bit in terms of experience. About 3,000 now in their favor. Hakon sees Fennec here. ILTW also in the area. She's sitting in stance, so I'm not sure about that. And yeah, they try to go for the Ancient Apparition play, but doesn't actually work out. Instead, he runs into the Sentry Ward. Alright. This is the way the tables can turn. Just an Omni Flash to the face.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright. So far, a very even game. M19, they've been using their, or they've been trying to use the Enchantress more as like pushing towers and pressuring the top lane rather than trying to roam around to find kills elsewhere on the map. They're continuing to go down this 5-man route. They do have the Blink Dagger on Stanking now. Well, he picked it up a little bit ago, and they can make some use of that up against Marden. And funny how with the Invis Rune he saw the damage being done, so did Marden. Should know that something's going on. He has done from Sonic on a Dragon Knight, but no immediate follow-up. They do have the Dragon Knight illusion to work with, Marden. Making a rotation towards top. The tier 2 already died, but Hakon, well, with the stun, follow up on Juggernaut, this should be a death, but at what cost here? Static Storm, Epicenter follow up on the backlines here. Kind of splitting their focus here, but they will get one. Will they get two? Death Prophet with split something going. So tanky here. Follow up stun from Hakon. They actually go to tier 3 M19. NT just way too strong. That last burst strike, not enough to actually turn this into more kills. Another M19, maybe they think they're stronger than they actually are right now, I don't know, but splitting their focus like that, Static Storm on 2, but then the Epicenter on the backlines, that wasn't the right decision. Of course, they figured that out afterwards, hindsight's 2020 and everything, but gotta realize that Death Prophet, when that ultimate is going at this point in the game, only 15 minutes in, with the kind of net worth lead that NT has, isn't all that many items. I mean, the Midas is very... it's not exactly fight winning for him, obviously, but the Veil is doing quite a bit, the power treads, and just the natural power that you have from being level 13 at this point. Just something that you have to try and kite around rather than try and fight into with just 1 or 2 heroes. So now M19, they have to wait until the ultimates are back and try to find the right kind of team fight. Drop a combo, get 1 or 2 kills, and then go from there rather than trying to get everything at once. Well, if your eyes are bigger than your stomach, then you end up losing heroes left, right, and center. And all that is more space for Comanche. More space for Weaver in particular here. He has the Dragonlance, he's working on a Lincoln Sphere. Only has the recipe, only needs ultimate orbs and 1,000 gold, and that'll be completed. That'll help quite a bit here up against the Dragonite stun. Disrupt the limbs, those are the big ones, and the Burst Strike as well. Which somehow does trickle Lincolns. Still think it shouldn't, but hey. Bulba. What it will not protect man from, though, is the Static Storm. So Disruptor, sitting in the bottom. Might be able to catch him off guard with that, but the rest of his team doesn't want to go in. Once again, M19 still kind of licking their wounds, trying to fall back. Farm up the next round of items of their own.
I'll take your tribute.
Comanche, we'll try and press advantage now. Archon looking for a target here and recover Vinvis, but not sure if they scattered out the smoke or something, but M19 so far so good. Dodging out that particular movement. They're all over the place too, so they should know that at this point, they should definitely know that something's amiss if you don't see anyone on the map for so long, but question is who's gonna hit, and it looks like Disruptor will be caught by the Ice Blast. Follow-up nuke there from Death Prophet. This should barely be enough. Maybe not, but this one will be with Sonic throwing down the last bit of damage. It's only level 1 Ice Blast, so it would have taken out the Disruptor in his own right, so Sonic securing that kill. He also has a Solar Crest now, so as far as support morphings go, Max Adapter Strike, Solar Crest, Arcane Boots. It's his timing. He's pretty strong in terms of the utility that he provides. We've seen it time and time again. Any sort of stun onto Juggernaut can be followed up so easily. And Juggernaut without a spin just dies way too fast. At the very least, LTW does have the meta style to work with, so maybe you can dodge some of these stuns if you're quick enough on your fingers. There's also some added damage output once he does finish up a Diffusal Blade if he wants to go that next. Huge step almost in the hands of Funnick. Korea, doubling the last pieces, and then there's some more ways to stay alive. To kite, okay, Hakon, no! The sentry, too late! Next assassin breaks smoke, and that's a field Batman right there. M19. That 5-man smoke attempt foiled Funnick. He's still under cover of it, so you still have another way to detect some heroes if you get close enough. But they also figure out is that there's a few heroes up top. He blinks across, now gets stunned up though, before he can get off his first strike, and well, like vultures, they descend on this gift that M19 gave them.
I'll take that as tribute.
Not exactly the way that they wanted to find that fight, and now the Duffer ultimate going already. There'll be a dead tier 1, perhaps tier 2 here, blinking right forward, trying to catch out anybody else, but looks like M19 will be able to retreat in time, and they do have a Disruptor split pushing, so it's great. Kappa. Decent creep up in mid tower. Maybe a little bit of damage will be done to the tier 2, but at what cost? The Disruptor trying to TP out, but intercepted with the last bit of ultimate there from NT, just TPing over to the shrine. So they only did take tier 1, tier 2 left standing here with its commitment on heroes rather than towers, but this is something that Comanche absolutely fine with. They can keep suppressing M19 like this. I won't say that they'll actually have the battle late game, with the DP being on top, like 1 or 2 items ahead. Morphling, as I said, great utility, and can also scale in damage department if they really need him to. And then you have a Weaver, can also do quite a bit, especially up against some of these supports, like the Disruptor or even the Juggernaut. Oh, that's a Yield Scepter onto Sonic. He does get the waveform out, but comes right back in and to replicate. He's still alive actually, but not for too much longer. 5 years around him. He tried his best, but ultimately, that's a little bit too much for even for Morphling to handle. So finally, something goes M19's way. They will get hit by the Ice Blast, maybe not. Only Graze down the Juggernauts, so nothing too much to worry about. We'll be able to finish off tier 2, but might trade top tier 2 for it. Bottom lane has been taken down earlier as NT is pushing the wave further. Oh, it's Comanche. Yeah, NT is pushing the way further, forcing M19 to make a decision. Do we keep going here, or do we fall back and try and defend? And well, they scatter back to their own side of the map. Comanche aren't really able to get themselves a decisive net worth lead, like overall. But the heroes that do have the most net worth are actually the ones that it matters on. NT, once again, top of the charts. The Weaver, right up there together with the Juggernaut, and the Ancient Apparition is the only one who's kind of far behind, which is not exactly ideal. Like in a perfect world, you have Midas on the AA, go a little bit greedy, but he hasn't really been able to afford that this game, just based on how the early game went. But they don't really need him to. If they can keep this pressure going, if they can keep the momentum on their side like this. Every single time the Exorcism is off cooldown, just use it to get an objective. Or maybe even two. They just took Roshan, but yeah, this Exorcism will be over, so taking down towers will be a little bit more tedious. Just leave it to Martin and Sonic. But M19, I mean, they have some ways of actually fighting into them. But they actually have to be confident to do it, and they have to be fighting at the right angles. You need a good Static Storm, you need a good Blink Initiation from the Sand King, but Phoenix, so far, he hasn't really been able to fight too many of those. Maybe that's also a mental thing. It's starting to take its toll. Alright, like, don't actually have a lot of vision. Don't actually have the best track record when it comes to team fights this time around. And yeah, he's trying to TP and will barely be able to make it. Nothing between these two heroes, so dropped it anyway, so would have been fine regardless, even if I found him earlier. But it's gonna get worse before it gets better, even with these kind of efforts. It did do a little bit of damage to tier 2 bottom, but they lost their own tier 2 mid. Still up against Nages. The Fusel Blade now done on the Weaver, so his damage output is enormously higher. Nick's Assassin with the Blink Dagger that he picked up a while ago, and going back for the late binders to go into his levels into... Oh god, Sonic, he finds... he finds Phonic. Ice Blast on top, and well, that's a good Invis rune. Free kill, more map control, and more space. That being said though, top lane's actually pushing in here in favor of M19, so maybe they're gonna be the ones who will be able to have Comanche look behind themselves. So right now, it's actually quite a nice push. 2 catapults once again, one stolen from the Enchantress. They take care of the creep wave. Nick's with the DK ultimate. They're tier 3, well, it's gonna take some damage. No way around it. Martin, well, Weaver's a good hero, but he's not exactly the tower damage type, but NT definitely is. So popping that Exorcism, they're available only now. Is this straight a base trade? Looks like it. It's only Card and Hakon up here. They can try and delay a little bit with some stuns, with the Ice Blast already used, and Hakon comes through. They do lose the melee racks, meanwhile the Radiant base. Well, not quite just yet. Phonic sitting on the side. Ready to the Blink Burst strike as necessary. Man, just trying desperately to finish off this melee racks, but well, Lincoln's triggered. Couple more right clicks here, time lapse, but he'll get it. Can he get out? Looks like it. No further control factors available. But there it is now, on the burst strike on the Morphling. Sonic, kind of tanky at this point, also has a replicate to work with, which will have to be taken care of for now. Actually, Sonic could just jump to it in the end, but Funnick, jump of his own, blink burst strike, but he's still so tanky. Now the rest of his team coming in to try and help. Man, of course he still has the Aegis, so it doesn't really care if he dies. But Funnick almost dies himself on a TP out with this insane amount of damage output, and the stun will actually connect on the disruptor right inside of his base. The DD rune, the rune of many wins, a gift from Gabe N towards his Weaver character. And with it, they'll be able to claim another victim. They did lose the top racks though, and that's the grand. That's the big picture here. M19, considering how far behind they are, they actually took a really good trade. They lost their melee mid racks, but they still keep their range racks alive. So just in terms of numbers, they come out ahead when it comes to objective numbers. Oh, Nix. That stun almost connected here as it stands. We'll be able to make the TP out. But yeah, even just strategically, having mid racks is not as valuable as the side lane racks. Because if you now pressure in the other side lane, if you pressure bottom lane if you're M19, you have a lot of distance between that and the top lane, which will naturally be pushed in. So Comanche has to split that focus a little bit more. Rotations take a little bit longer than if you were just to push out the middle lane and then swap to the side lane. Something that's a choice Comanche made. Could have easily TP'd back to the Fen, I think. Because they didn't have TPs, which I didn't check for, but I didn't expect. Oh god, Funnick. This time they find the initiation out to Nexus. He still gets a few spells off. Ice Blast bouncing through here. NT in the middle of all of this, and M19. Oh, what the spin doesn't actually last long enough. Juggernaut gets caught out. Follow from Sonic. They finish off Funnick and they finish up ILW. Perfect timing there from Harkon, getting the stun off just as the spin ends. Couldn't have been a long time left on the TP either, and with that, Juggernaut, no buyback. They're looking for more. They can perhaps take down another set of Raxi, especially if they find Nyx. A stun will still connect. He's sitting on the high ground. Hakon with a follow-up here. They have the vision. Now just need the damage, but BKB actually comes out. Nyx alone, though, he does not have the damage. So all he'll be able to do with this is walk away. But hey, once again, at 19. It's a dangerous game that they're playing, but they're playing it very well so far. Oh, the glimpse! Not enough to keep Disruptor safe. But Sonic actually has to make the long track back now. So yeah, 19 really committed on the split push game. Tier 2 down to 406 health points now. And no damage, no further damage done, I should say, to their own base. So in that sense, M19 still with a decent enough trade, only losing the Disruptor in the end. Comanche still ahead, I mean, both in terms of metrics and still in terms of momentum. This Death Prophet is one item ahead, 1.5 you could say even. Octarine Core just about done. And you already have a hard time killing her. At plus 50 movement speed, you're also gonna have a hard time kiting her at this point. And it's just gonna get worse once the Octarine Core is done. Blink Dagger also on NT, so... M19, they're playing the right game. Just playing strategically. Try and keep Comanche looking behind themselves every step of the way, because that's the only way that you're gonna keep yourself alive in this game. Because if it gets to a point where lanes are decently pushed out for the dire side, and then T comes knocking at your door, and you have to take a 5-on-5 team fight at this point, with him in the front lines, yeah, that's not gonna work. And now, well, actually gets Blink out, slightly mistimed on Disruptor stun. But if Comanche, all they need is one opportunity like this to win a team fight and perhaps even win the game on the back of that, depending on how it goes. And M19, the only way that they survive is if they don't let this happen at all. One good way of actually giving them a little bit of help in that regard would be next Roshan. We'll respawn in 1 minute. Comanche already taking control of this particular area of the map. They have a shrine to take. Should probably dispatch of that and whenever they feel like they need to. But instead, this time, they're changing tactics. They know what M19 is gonna do here. Approaching the tier 2, Misha in the front, gets the card for the stun, and that is NT with the ultimate, no compromises. Misha is dead, and well, M19 actually taking a try of their own. Disruptor will be stunned out of the TP, so that's him dead as well. Comanche, they're done with the split push tactics. They're just saying, screw it, we're gonna fight you, we're gonna catch up to you, and then we're gonna kill you, and then go for the next objectives. NT, of course, he did pop his ultimate, Exorcism. Gonna be down by the time they actually reach high ground. They'll just have to rely on right clicks to do that damage. And note, Desolate on the team means that you actually don't have the easiest time going into buildings. Especially with backdoor region still up, so creep wave mid still needs a couple of more seconds. Enough for the rest of M19 to respawn, and they all have their ultimates, so Comanche, they should have just gone straight to Roche at this point. Wall is past max respawn time, I do believe, so they figured out that he's there now.
Thank you, my beauties.
M19, well, it's, once again, it's a dangerous game they're playing, it's a resource-intensive game. There's very little room for error in what they're doing right now, but so far it's working out. They're getting time, getting their own items. Nyx working on the AC. Of course, we already saw the BKB doing some work. LTW with the fuel blades. Damage is there. Oh, they go start for Roshan, but the Ice Blast coming in on 4 heroes. No Earthshaker this time around to follow it up with the dunk. So, but yeah, the Ice Path in itself, good amount of damage at this point, but. Of course, no axe to keep it up for 17 seconds, and Healing Ward will be able to repair that immediately. Comanche are really gonna let this go? I mean, I guess they have to. Still 25 seconds on the DP ultimate. Without that, NT is not nearly as effective. Nyx, okay, he was looking for something there. Trying to go for a blink stun right now. Joining him and joining LTW inside the pit. Sonic. Another Ice Blast is gonna have to go now. It's very slow Roche. Allowed them to come back off cooldown. Phonic, he couldn't blink because of the Ice Blast. That's a wasted epicenter, but LTW gets Aegis Immortal. Static Storm comes through now. And they're just straight up fighting. Sonic will be taken down. They immediately take the Aegis. What else can they do here with that? Oh, NT. Keeping himself alive in Spirit Siphon. See that ultimate going, doing so much work. The Omni Slash was not enough to burst through him. So LTW will die a second time, and so does the Dragonaut Misha. Next on the list here, NT blinks across. Will be able to do enough physical damage here. With that ultimate going, and well, they lose a couple of heroes of their own. Nyx as well as the Ancient Apparition, but considering the way that this trade went, okay, especially if Phonic dies as well, Martin. It's another right click or two. That blink barely keeping Phonic alive despite the slow from the field blade. Okay, that's blink forward from Sonic. But full stun means you don't actually have a lot of damage attached to that particular adapter strike, so all it really serves is to keep him away, keep them honest, and well, that's what he keeps doing here, but it's not keeping Phonic away. Double stun. Starting to snap him out of the Sandstorm. Oh man, forced to tie an Napsy, and now, well, there's some good damage on the impetus, and the glimpse back into the actual kill. They did lose bottom lane. So around this trade, not nearly as good for M19 as it could have been. Creeps did do some decent damage to tier 4 up top. They cleaned through a lot of these buffer buildings in the top lane. Just due to the fact this fight lasted so long around the Roche pit. But eventually, nothing really changed for Comanche. But now there's 2 full sets of Rex missing for M19, which means they're gonna have a much harder time actually pushing across to the other side of the map. and yeah, try and play this game that they've been playing. With the split push pressure, it's gonna get more and more impossible. Even Sonic, oh, he finds the disruptor in his side. The observer ward in mid, very well placed. Actually, scout him out. So, not quite sure who else is behind him. And now the burst strike will actually connect there onto the Nyx assassin, follow up with the static storm. They'll be able to bring him down. But now NT with another ultimate here, Lord Sword, Octo Recall going at this point. We'll be able to finally finish up the disruptor. 1-for-1 trade so far, Car. Well, also caught on the side, but it's done on Dragonite. Nice little burst strike from Funning again, but where's the follow-up? He doesn't actually have anything. And Martin at this point, well, he's strong enough to demand fight him. Funning stunned up, brought down. This might just be it here. They do get the TP out on Enchantress, but none of the dead heroes have buyback. Come on, Jay, they're only missing a Nyx Assassin. I think they'll be able, even without the Exorcism, they'll just be able to muscle down the top racks. And at that point, M19 might as well call it GG because they've really no way of dealing with that. And yeah, they call it right now. The standing calls it even first. Yeah, there was really no other way around this. Oh, what a game. Didn't quite expect it to go that way, but Comanche, well, they had the strat going into this. And M19 allowed them to work it well.
Alright, so Comanche take game number 1. The support Morphling stuns people into oblivion. And NT survives a million team fights and goes 17-0-8. God, that was...
That's super crazy. I mean, I haven't seen the strat really before, I don't think. But it did work out quite well. Right? Starting with that very first team fight, you already saw the signs. Like with NT's first commitment of that ultimate, and then turn around. And yeah, Sonic Morphling is, as you mentioned, the stuns just so hard to deal with because it's so freaking long. 4.25 seconds, it's an eternity in Dota. So they've been able to make good use of that and get the space for NT to just get huge, even after this disastrous laning stage with like 20, 30 losses behind or something at times, up against the Dragonite. Yeah, gotta say, man, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I would have liked to see M19, like, after the first team fight, just realize they needed to focus NT completely and with everything. But it's hard to say you're gonna commit every resource to one hero when he was like 3-0, but he was down in farm, so he wasn't that far ahead in net worth over Nyx. Well,
the thing is, you have to make a decision at that point, right? Either you go everything on him, or just try and ignore him, finish off everyone else quickly, and then at this point, NT alone, you have a better chance of dealing with him if he doesn't have his teammates around him creating chaos. But the thing is also M19, I don't actually think they played this game particularly well. Right? Time and time again, they've been called out. They didn't have like this map awareness as much as Comanche seemed to have, and they didn't communicate properly. Like this one team fell on top where Stackstone landed on 2, Funny came, used the burst strike in the backlines with the epicenter. So splitting their focus like this, all of these kind of things contributed to M19 actually also falling this far behind, on top of Comanche actually playing this very well. So it's definitely much deserved victory. And M19, well, they definitely have to try and fix these issues in game number 2 coming up.
Alright, so we'll be going to a short break, but we'll be back with game number 2 between Comanche and M19 in this lower bracket semifinal. I'm the Source. Joining me is Dragon Draft Dota. We'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright,
Radiant
folks,
team
we
ban.
are back with Game 2. Oh, that graphic didn't update. We're back with Game 2 between Comanche and M19. I'm the source joining me is Drag and Drop Dota and E-Skill Dota. And we got more support Morphling E-Skill. You missed it.
Yeah, I remember Sonic morphing.
10 seconds.
I'm actually happy that we actually have someone now with us who knows what he's talking about. So,
5
E-Skills,
seconds
thanks for joining.
remaining.
And,
My pleasure.
Yeah. You casted Comanche's last game with Panda, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said back then too, I played against Sonic when he was playing with Safira, the German stack.
Yeah.
And his 3 heroes are Coddle, Magnus, and Morphling. He plays Morphling and Magnus as position 4. And now they go for his Magnus.
Well,
Dire team
Cottle banned out. Morphling already taken last game. So Magnus definitely also first pick material in this meta. So why not pick it up right now? And
He
then
does
the
play
team-
it very weirdly though. He does play it roaming.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think many has.
Yeah. Looking forward to that as well. So Comanche with Sonic newly into the squad, I want to say.
5 seconds remaining.
Looks to be quite an interesting team to look out for. But yeah, M19 they go back for the Sand King. So this is just like a alright, let's just try again. Or is this just Phonics? No, Misha's actually drafting. This is I don't know.
I mean, Saki is
It's-
just a very strong hero right now, though. It makes sense to go for it. And, I mean, they might also not play it on Fnatic this time. That's the beauty of first picking it, because it can go on two different positions, so strong that way.
Yeah, because it didn't really work out too well last game, so I don't know what the mental state is, of course, right now. But sometimes it's like, all right, it's fine. I'm warmed up now. I can play this hero again. Or sometimes it's just like, oh god, I just screwed up.
Radiant team
and-
pick.
I don't know. We'll see how they want to
To
deal
me,
with that this time around.
the last game, it looked like they had an Eng DK like kind of draft, which to me looked like they wanted to give Sonic his Morphling and they wanted to like
10
destroy
seconds
the
remaining.
lanes with Eng, and
Yeah.
they just wanted to win the game in 50 minutes. Clearly, they
5
didn't
seconds
work out.
remaining.
That's kind of the interesting thing. They did destroy the lanes. Top lane was very much in favor of M19. Middle lane, DK dominated the Death Prophet in terms of CS and everything. Bottom lane was Juggernaut up against the Nyx matchup. So Nyx got his levels, but Juggernaut was really pressured all that much. It's just the way that they took the team
Radiant
fights
team ban.
was never really in their favor. They always started them off on the back foot.
No, yeah.
Comanche, MT, and the Death Prophet was able to pretty much channel the full exorcism in every single team fight. But that's something that M19 will definitely have to fix this time around here with Sanking on Phonic on a different person. It's kind of regardless of that fact. And once again, they do have some extra tools to work with here. Rubik, some good spells to steal already, especially now with the Oathshaker picked up early by Comanche as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's looking to be a really good Rubik game so far.
5 seconds
I think
remaining.
M19 knows that there should be an offlane shaker because Sako is like, since it's Sonic in the team, they should know it's gonna be a position 4 mag. So that is also always something they should remember. And I mean, it's a strength to already know 2 of the positions.
Well, on this Comanche, have something else in them. Who knows? I mean, Morphling's not been banned out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Radiant team
they might
ban.
do something crazy like that, but I wouldn't imagine so. But who knows?
So for now, we have some bans coming out. Juggernaut taken away, so it's a Templar Assassin.
Dire
The
team
Venomancer even, so it's one of these heroes that came into popularity as a core position just rather recently. And
Oh, it's just a
just don't
super
go
annoying
there.
hero to deal with.
Yeah. Especially when you pick heroes that are reliant on blinks. Earthshake and Magnus will both want to pick one
10
up, so
seconds
there's
remaining.
these plague walls everywhere, canceling the blink time and
5
time again.
seconds
It's,
remaining.
yeah, not a lot of fun. Not to mention all this crazy damage over time that you can bring
Reserve
to the
time.
table.
It's also a hero that they they can just leave Venno solo against the Shaker and he will do like completely fine.
Yep.
And that's I think that's something that M19 wants to do here. They want to pick a core that can deal with this Shaker offlane like all by himself. But for now they go for the so they do not want to go for the Funnick Sanking once more. They're trying something else.
Batrider offlane, or perhaps even some sort of aggressive lane, put the Batrider up against the Earthshaker. Try and I don't know, aggressive lane with Sanking and Rubik.
I think they'll just do the normal, like Batrider offlane, maybe Sanking roams there a bit, depending on what Comanche. Like, I would assume Comanche Weaver is not that good, because then they won't really have a combination with Magnus, and they also have Rubik and Sanking. All these heroes are pretty good against Weaver. To me, it looks like Nakes might be the go-to hero here, or they can go something. They can also go Troll, or like they probably want a safe core here that fares up well against Batrider.
Yeah, Lycio would be the most obvious one. If you want to go a little bit more on the nose, you could still go back for perhaps a one-position Legion Commander.
Sorry, my mic went crazy there for a second.
Okay, I can hear that.
Yeah.
They're definitely taking the time, but for now, okay, Shadow Shaman.
Dire team pick.
So that's some tower pressure, that's a lot of control.
And that's a hero that's super preferred in the China region as well as CES quite a bit. That's an interesting pickup.
Alright, I'm still not convinced that Gyrocopter is a hero still. So you're gonna have to walk me through this one. I mean, I've seen some people swear on this straight up axe build. It's kind of a double damage rune constantly double equivalent. But,
to me,
I don't know.
I think Gyro, he's a fine hero, but you shouldn't rush the axe. I think you should go maybe an SNY, BKB, and then go axe as a third item or so, because I think this axe rush is a little bit, it's But what this Gyro pick does is that it makes this Nyx pick even so much better, because now Nyx doesn't only counter the lane, he's also countering their main carry. Like Nyx is one of these heroes that's always been considered one of the counters to Gyro, because Gyro is a lot of magic damage.
Yeah, Lycio of course doesn't care about it. Like, especially if you have some sort of delivery method with the blinks on pretty much any one of these heroes, Earthshaker, Magnus, most likely ones, can get right on top of the Gyrocopter, follow up with the slow. And there's nothing that M19 can really do about that until they get a bunch of 4-stars or something to try and carry around this Lifestealer, keep the Gyrocopter away from him.
So M19, at least for the last pick, they definitely want something heavy physical damage. TA would be the obvious one, but it's banned out. Razor is also banned out, would be a really good Razor pick, I think.
Could they go back for like a Death Prophet of their own? Like Comanche did last game?
Yeah, it can definitely be a good hero. Like, then they definitely have some burst for the Lifestealer, even if he rages. Yeah, DP looks quite strong. Also they need physical damage, but they really like tower push, so DP is great in that sense.
Another option out of the mid lane would be perhaps Dragon Knight instead. But Queen of Pain? Okay, that's another easy Lifestealer bomb. And decent matchup against DK.
I think DK is actually one of the heroes that, because Queen of Pain, she always puts a lot of pressure on the other mid hero, but DK is one of the heroes that deals the best with it because of his passive. Like, it's over and over. It was a very popular counter pick in the regionals. Like, I know Planet Dog went for it all the time. As soon as the opponent teams pick Queen, they just pick DK. And I mean, it fits the criteria of having tower push. It deals well against Queen, and it's not great against Lifestealer, but it is a stun.
Well, it's also a stun, but also another hero that Lifestealer doesn't particularly care about unless he doesn't have Rage available. It's gonna be the Lina in hands of Nyx.
Yeah, this Lifestealer, there is a potential for this Lifestealer to go completely crazy this game. But M19 will have to play around it. If they play around it well, then if they get their 4 staffs, like good timing and all that stuff, it won't be an issue. But there is a scary thing with this lifestealer.
Yeah, I can definitely see him get completely out of control this game if he isn't pressured heavily in the safe lane. And it's something that I almost never see, especially when you have a bad rider who cannot
10
really
seconds
accomplish that
remaining.
on his own. He will need help from Misha on the Sand King.
5 seconds remaining.
Even then, how much can they do up against this lifestealer when he has a Shadow Shaman?
That's like they can't really do. Maybe they can get some Shadow Shaman skills at best, but these snakes, I can't see a scenario where these snakes won't really like basically be free farming, unless they could go aggro try actually and do something like that, and that might be good for them since they know Sonic is gonna roam and do his weird skewer stuff. Like he basically buys 2 smokes, runs around and tries to skewer people on the high ground. That's what he does. As you can see, he has 2 smokes on him.
2 smokes, boots of speed. All right.
So
Gonna have to keep an eye on this guy.
He does some weird shit, but it works.
Like things you know are the pubs and these highlight reels and the fails videos on YouTube.
He's an interesting guy. But I think I like if M19 can get to go on aggro try, I think I like that the most. Because otherwise these snakes is just gonna have a free game and it's gonna be very annoying for M19. Like in the early mid game to deal with.
Sonic already running. Does have a Warden's inventory, 2 more smokes. The initial one was scattered out by the Rubik TPing to mid. Meanwhile down bottom, Misha, well, already being chased away. Can't really trade against the Shadow Shaman. Not after these massive amount of right-click buffs that he's got.
74 damage.
PogChamp.
With throw.
Yeah. Is it like the 2nd highest next to the Treant?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. But it also looks like they are going to go aggro try. But if I think about it, then I think Comanche is going to think about it too. As we can see, it looks like it as well. They seem to be dodging.
Yeah, Phonics sitting there up top. So looking for this matchup with the lifestealer Mon. They figured it out quickly enough. So then there's a question of musical lanes. What heroes do you rotate when, how often?
Yeah.
To
I mean,
try
I
and
think
find the matchup that you want.
Comanche, they figured this out because they didn't see anyone on the ward they placed on the top rune. So they can... You basically always see heroes there if they are gonna go like safe lane.
Yeah.
Since they didn't see anything, they could make the assumption that they're not gonna be there.
Well, turned out to be right. So it's gonna be Shaker down bottom alone. Up against right now the Rubik as well as the Gyrocopter.
Was smoke from Sonic and Cat. I don't know how to say his name, but
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, bit of skewer perhaps into Shackles, and this might just be that bad rider straight off the bat. No pun intended. To start with the slow from Martin. And yeah, the right clicks will be there. Holding on to Shackles here just in case they can... What?
oh,
I was yeah, a little bit too cute. I think they wanted to try and secure it for the lifestealer, but
yeah,
you had to take it.
you shouldn't do that because, in my opinion, it's great if a support gets the first blood too. They get a big chunk of gold. And I get your carry wants it, but screw that stuff. Just get the kill.
Yeah, well, he straight up got his boots off of it. So, oh, but middle lane actually. Okay, Queen of Pain. The Lanta stun into the burst strike, but Misha, now he's the one who's tanking tower shots and will straight up die to this. I don't think they did the math quite correctly in this one. I mean, just level 2 Lina, they started off with the initial Light Struck array connecting, but after that, what do you really have?
Yeah, that is not great. Because this is quite a scary lane for Lina. She is one of the heroes, like, she's supposed to do well, or she does well against Queen, but if Queen gets an advantage, then if either Queen or Lina gets the advantage, basically, it's gonna be bad for the other hero. This lane is like super volatile. Like, it can go really badly, really fast for either of them. Great for
Just
NT
trying
so
to
far.
tip the scale in favor of the Lina, but well, Comanche. That's one of these smokes. That's the second one even from Sonic. And gonna look to try and pressure the Knicks in mid.
Feel like there's gonna be like a clash 3 versus 3 mid, maybe. No, not really.
Yeah, it is. So they have Shackles, Let's Work, and Wally will connect, obviously. It's not a whole lot else that they can do.
The Sankey and Rubik were around for a bit, but Rubik moved away, and then it's all she wrote.
Well, they've released the Gyrocopter's doing well. It's the one silver lining for M19, and LTW is sitting at the top of the CS shot. They have complete control of the bottom lane, even off the side pull. It's just the nature of the beast. Earthshaker just trying to scrounge up as many levels as he can here in this effectively offlane position.
Yeah, and since the good thing as well is that since Funnick went safe lane, like at least he's gonna be having an easier time of getting some pulls and getting some levels and stuff. So even if it's a bad lane, it's not as bad as if it would have been on the Radiant safe lane. That's something as well.
Sonic, once again, he's sitting around there. He's trying to look for an opportunity. Martin needs a few more stick charges, though, to really get some mana to work with right now.
Mid lane is...
Might have to rage up. Mid lane, there's a bit of a fight going on. Misha, well... Everyone's kind of low, but not really in dying range.
And NT missed, he was caustic finale, but he salved up, and then he got cancelled right away.
Oh,
That's always frustrating.
Gotta keep an eye on these buff timers. Okay, Sonic finds the rune, but Misha, Burst Strike available, but didn't quite get it off in time. Not sure if it would have been a kill, actually. Sonic, no Firefly. But might be able to use it now on this really big creep stack. But okay, so actually going straight in for it, but it doesn't have enough damage now. No rage available anyway until he pops stick charges, so knowing that he would have that to fall back on. Trying to go a bit aggro. And try and keep the Spat right away from the stack right now, I would imagine.
Yeah, but it's like this better he will be able to take it, because Comanche doesn't really have any hero that can take it unless this Magnus all of a sudden gets like level 3 in power, but he won't, so this will be bad right stack to take eventually.
Well, so basically Comanche are running this dual roaming supports, right? Because Karti also hasn't really been stuck to a lane this entire game so far. At what point do you say, alright, enough is enough, we need to find some levels elsewhere?
Well, he used his smokes now on Sonic, so I think now it's back to find levels, Will. Yeah.
Just soak the last bit of his level 3, so you do have the empower available. Technically, we can fall back to the jungle.
See, he's going for the Arcane Boost, so if he would have wanted the jungle, he would probably go for the Iron Talon, so...
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know what he does with his Magnus, but eventually he always finds his levels and stuff when he does this, so... I'm sure he feels completely fine. The current position he's in.
Well, it will get caught out here while he was waiting for the bounty rune, so this might actually be a death until the deny can't come out. Yes, there it is. Only just. But he does manage to get the creeps to kill him first.
It always feels really bad.
Yeah.
M19 is gonna get
runes, so some candy to help them across.
M19 is gonna get a lot of damage in this bottom tower though. That's really nice.
Oh yeah.
Probably gonna go down here actually.
Yeah, the catapult is doing quite some work. The W is strong enough to just skip the creeps. Misha with a bit of a left tap, and yeah, this will go down. Hakan. He's not really able to defend it himself, but the glyph comes through. A couple of TPs. Misha with a burst strike, but there's a fissure in a skewer into Sonic Waves, and T makes an appearance on LTW. Well, if they find him, one right click will finish him off. Or one spell, just the same. Double kill for the Queen of Pain, and well, this is how the cookie crumbles, as they say.
That was
Funnick,
actually...
God, Funnick! It's almost taken out to freaking poison. Card just short of being able to find the interception. Damn.
And looks like Fnatic took the stack as well.
Yeah. He's level 6 now, so that's helpful.
Yeah, 35 last hits. I mean, looking at the lanes, M19 has been doing really, really good. Even though NT got that start with 2 kills, he's 4-0. Actually, he still has been outlaned by the Lina.
Yeah. But that's exactly how it looked like last game, so... Oh god, shaker. Let's get caught out here, a bit of a combo with the ultimate use from LTW. But yeah.
There's no real lead here for M19. Like if there's 1k, they got the bottom tower though. That's the like big part. That's really nice. But it all comes down to the next like 5 minutes, like what teams can make their movements and stuff work.
I mean, NT is getting there. He's level 7. Once he's level 8, you'll have that maxed out Scream of Pain. Martin at the same time, okay, he actually gets lassoed up. The skewer will miss, but Fnatic, he's super low. A couple of right clicks or maybe a shockwave from downtown will finish him off, but instead, Sonic just a little bit too scared. Just gonna get himself out of there. Martin infested the creep. Well, he'll try and finish the job himself. Fnatic, no more Fireflies. A couple of right clicks with the slow from the Orb of Venom and just has to juke and jive, but man, we'll get that one down regardless. At the same time, Shadow Shaman got caught out by Misha and Ostanden for the side of M19. So 1-for-1 trade across. It's in favor of Comanche, you could say.
Yeah, M19 is gonna get a nice chunk. Not that big of a. I thought it would get more damage on the mid tower, but.
Yep. But anyway, NT is going to be where he wants to be in terms of levels, and I don't know. Do you wait until Martin gets his his armlet before you go for inverse bombs, or do you just look to combo that up and just rely on the burst damage from the Queen of Pain to finish off the kills?
I don't really think they're gonna be using. I mean, they can use this Queen for some bombs on like Lina or Batrider and stuff, but I think what they're gonna do is like this Queen and this Nex is just gonna play like their own game. They're not really gonna work together, and then Nex is gonna start playing with Shaker once he gets his dagger instead.
Well, Phoenix trying to run a few people down. Card will be left for Nyx to just right-click away at, but so far so good. He gets maximum movement speed. The last nuke will be blocked partly by the infused rain up, so there's the Roshan deny.
Oh,
they did manage to get the kill on the Magnus though, so... Damn.
Comanche is just denying themselves all the time. I think
that looks of it today.
Comanche is gonna be quite of a passive like playstyle until they get this Mag and Shaker dagger. Then they can just go full throttle. But up until that point, like there's not too much to do. They might do like one Queen Bomb with Nakes and stuff, but remains to be seen.
Yeah. Looks like you're right. I mean, so far they're just happy to stick to their own side of the map. NT has yet to finish up that Veil of his.
His Mag is only level 4, so...
Oh yeah.
He has not had a great start, despite the early kills they got on the Lina and the Batrider.
On the flip side, the supports on the other side also not too much better. Rubik just at level 6 though, as I say that. I think he ate it home. So that is potentially a huge difference maker here, but now the hacks on the Batrider will spot out that smoke. Fnatic, he's still pretty damn fast with Tranquil Boots unbroken. But they do get the lasso on the Shadow Shaman. Sonic trying to do what he can, but apart from the Shockwave, but that is the Infest Bomb to turn us around. Fnatic will make it a 1-4 trade, and now the Rubik will Acro Slam to the face. Not gonna like that.
That's a good and fast respawn. Yep. However, they did basically lose the mid tower because of that. I would actually say that's worth it for M19.
Oh, yeah.
Because the mid tower is such a huge thing on the map for either side, and you really don't want to lose it at 12 minutes in.
With the extra goal going towards Alina. Top lane has also been pressured quite a bit. Now Nyx, well, that light strike array just being dodged by the Earthshaker.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That was 100% luck, I think.
Middle tower is under
I
attack.
think he might have saw Nyx just in the nick of time.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe.
Alright. Mana back to safe lane. He does have the omelet available, so minimum effectiveness is given. Switch from Desolator over to Arjanyasha. Bit of a mid-game focused item.
Yeah, I think I kind of like that. Like, usually what you do is either Desolator or even Halberd or SNY. I don't think it's a great Halberd game at all. And SNY it's gonna allow him to farm a lot faster. It's gonna be like fight ready and everything. It's like has a little bit of everything.
It's double stacked as well from Sonic.
Radiant's top tower.
Shockwave the hard camp and skewer the trees here to the medium camp. Easy money banked up for the lifestealer, but right now he's actually infested into NT. It's the potential of a bomb if they find a target. Right now, don't have a whole lot of vision on side of, on M19's heroes. Only see LTW bring down the stock tower. And there it is, the last comes through, but hey, surprise! Oh, poor Funnick.
That was smooth.
Debating
Tower is under attack.
Yeah. And ILTV is not going for the Ags rush or anything. He's going for the SNY at least, so that's good. I like that.
Yep. He's on good path. He's actually top of the net worth chart. The Lina right up there together with the lifestealer. So, two cores that they need to have gold actually are at that point.
Yes.
And,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
the fact that they
Fuel for my fire.
went aggro trialing and just like Comanche read it and they didn't like suffer with the next or anything, but just the fact that they did that and kind of put Funnick in a better lane and all that stuff, it really turned out to be in their favor. And I think Nyx really played well in mid because despite getting killed twice, he just destroyed Lina.
Yep.
It's quite impressive.
Funnick now take a big old ancient stack. At least trying to. It takes a lot of napalm to actually make that work, but with that he will be able to finish up his Blink Dagger. That's an extra threat potential for M19 and a way for them to try and get some more kills under the belt and try and extend the lead that way. Because despite the kill disadvantage, actually about 2k ahead in terms of gold.
Yeah, and Misha is also getting really close to his dagger, and I think that's gonna be kind of their their timing to go. Maybe they're gonna do a smoke or just go and like try to get a tower or something. Because ILTV just finished off his SNY2, so he's ready to rumble.
Same time, if you look at Comanche, they're kind of far away from the blinks, apart from the Earthshaker. Hakon, he just picked that one up. So it's just a matter of who finds who first. Because there's some blink reveals on both sides, potentially clashing right on top of each other. NT as well with the package inside. This could be a bit of a kerfuffle down here in the bottom lane. LTW, the only one showing. Here's Sonic in the side. He can skewer across this. Echo Slam gonna blow up LTW first. The RP comes through. Actually catches the Sand. That'll be that. This gambit working in favor of Comanche.
No, they don't have any save. Let's just blow the crap out of this gyrocopter, and that's exactly what they did.
Just everything just dropped right on top of him.
That's completely the right idea though, because if they kill Gyro, they don't really have any. Oh,
Also gonna kill Nyx. Gasket electric array off, but no way to run away, so he's trying to trade, but it's also not quite working until Funnick can maybe. One more right click or so would do the trick. But Hakon. Yeah, he's dead. But now Funnick, well, he had to commit quite deep into it. Luckily for him, and he's kind of out of mana here. Gets lasted down in the hands of Misha. Follow-up control from him. Sonic with a skewer, trying to create some space, and does enough for the blink out. LTW missing that ultimate, and now Man comes in. He does have Empower on top of him. He's looking for the gyrocopter, but it's still available. Throws themselves into creep. The rockets actually catching the Magnus, and reinforcements are there from M19. Secure that kill, and well, Cat gets jumped on here, drops the wards. Not enough to protect him, of course. Once again, all alone up against 4 heroes, and just be found up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
There are a series of unfortunate events here, but at the very least, Comanche do keep their cause alive.
That was like a ripple effect kind of thing. They started off like they just found more and more kills. Comanche like kind of wanted to help their heroes, but they couldn't really, and then they just put themselves in a bad position, and M19 just kept running at them. That was great for them.
Yeah, good way to stabilize after just losing your Gyro and your Lina, because that's the bottom line, right? Those 2 heroes just died and kind of cut the lead that they had in half, almost. Not quite, actually.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, it all feels bad when you lose your core like that. But the important thing is to not, like,
Dire's top
one
tower
pretty normal thing is that, yeah, you lose your core like that, and then you feel like, oh crap, now we maybe can't go for these objectives or whatever, because you know they push bottom, and Gyro died instantly, and you will feel like, oh, let's just go back to farming. And that's usually a really bad thing, but it's very easy to happen. But it's good to see that M19 they just
tower is under attack.
get right back at it and just look for more kills and keep the pressure on.
Yeah. So, where do we go from here now? There's
Under attack.
Comanche with all the ultimates pretty much back up and ready to go. Magnus has enough gold for Blink Dagger. They have a smoke on Shadow Shaman, kind of grouped up, so I think it stands to reason that they want to try and capitalize on another Blink reveal.
Yeah, looks like they're definitely gonna smoke here, and we'll see if M19 will sniff it out or if they're gonna get caught. 'Cause I think Comanche is gonna want to get this mid tower now. They have both their blinks, they have the stuff they need to start doing stuff.
Counter smoke from M19. Lines are being drawn on the map. And Misha. Smoke will pop. He actually gets a burst strike here to begin with. The Acro Slam in the back. They're focusing on Lina. Try and bring down the big damage shield first. Now LTW back in appearance. Gets solo RP. The lasso comes through onto the Magnus, but he already used his spells. 2-1 trade so far. So Shadow Shaman also died now. The burst strike and Queen of Pain on top of the Rock Barrage. We'll see. NT taking the spin as well. Man just being kited and well, no way to get up to the high ground to try and deal with the Funnick. Now burst strike, 2 blinks right on top of Miss Ragens. 4 heroes down just like that. Or at least now all they got was bottom charges away from Lina.
Dog barking.
What?
Ah, maybe they didn't hear the dog barking. That's good.
Not really, no. Just heard you talking about the dog barking.
Make him calm. I thought I muted the mic, but I didn't.
All right.
Didn't want to interfere. But yeah, that was a really good fight for M19.
Is under attack.
I thought it would start off really badly.
Finds some stacks
because,
inside jungle as well, yeah.
like Comanche, they found out the Lina and they basically got her for free. And then Batrader used the lasso on the Magnus after Magnus used RP.
Yep.
But Funster and Rubik managed to steal RP and he managed to lock down
Radiant's top tower
Nyx.
is under attack.
Think during his rage a little bit, so in the end it worked really nicely for
Dire's
M19.
bottom tower
Yep.
is under attack.
They blew most of their damage really on the Lina. Even though they had some control to spare here for the Gyrocopter, this likely just wasn't enough to actually turn this into something. But now might be enough to bring Nyx down. He follow control from Card, but that'll get lifted. The lasso here keep man away, but another couple of swipes will do the trick. But Lightstriker actually catches them, and Nyx
Bottom tower
be able to survive this one too. Now, man, with a compromised position, he does have an ultimate available. Infesting into the siege creep, and we'll keep him alive. But Card, well, he did get finished off in the backlines.
are fortified.
Sir does have RP. He kinda looks like he wanted to stay around.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still has it available, so if M19 start grouping up mid, that's an opportunity. Queen of Pain, no, he's somewhere else entirely, so they'll have to TP back if they want to defend this tower. if M19 were to continue the push, but instead make a retreat of their own. Missing quite a few health and mana points between some of the heroes.
Yeah.
So far so good. They're stabilizing, they're expanding their lead.
Yeah, M19 is doing good moves right now, and I think they don't really have the best Roshan up. Lina is like fine at it. Gyro is okay, but I don't think that's gonna be an objective that they want to take unless they get like a really big
Dire's middle tower is under
team fight victory or anything like that.
Yeah.
So they're probably just gonna try to get these tier 2s team fights.
Alright, so it's kind of one of the oldest play the book. Just bait out Martin. M19 should know this though. They had ward. They saw some of these heroes walking up north past that secret shop. So they know that Comanche should be in this general area, so they will not be caught out that way.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Definitely seems to be knowing what's up. Now they have a gyro BKB, which is it's not a fantastic BKB game by any means, but it's definitely a strong timing for them. Seem to wanting to use it.
Yep. Now they're smoked up. We will kill out their own. Full 5-man lineup here. Nick's the only one showing, of course. Taking care of the lane.
Radiant's
On the back of
middle
this, they
tower
should be able to
is
get
under
the tier 2
attack.
tower, Comanche. Not really exposing themselves too much. Martin sitting on high ground.
Shadow is actually doing some nice ratting on the top lane.
Yeah. Yeah, with the wards, they all
They
trade
missed
tier
their
2s.
trade.
Top tower is under attack.
Alright. How much pressure is on M19 to actually finish up the game? Or is there any at all? Or can they just kind of sit back, keep playing the map control game? And just
I think if they, like you say, if they get the map control, if they farm more than them, then they're completely fine to,
Radiant's bottom
you know, just get like a 20k goal lead and just end it in that way. But if the farm is even, then I think like Comanche with this position 4 Magnus, they're eventually gonna just have so many like team fight abilities and stuff that is gonna be hard for M19 to fight.
Well, that is the fun Shadow Shaman. Not
But I
the
wouldn't-
probably the least value kill at this point, but
I wouldn't say that M19 is like necessarily running any risk of like having to end. I just think that if the goal is even later on, it's gonna be in favor of Comanche, but not by any like huge margin.
Right. So it's the way the game has been going so far. It's probably gonna be on Comanche. Try and stem the bleeding, get some more momentum going in their favor for once, and this could be an opportunity, but it also could fall flat on its face. NT with an Inrus rune.
Have an orchid.
Oh, they're gonna go in with the Orchid. Sanking will be taken care of immediately. Let's call it quits after that.
Really clutch blink dodge though. I think it was, might not even have been point of it. Maybe he just blinked to go farm, but it looked cool. Not fully aware if he actually saw the Earthshaker.
Well, either way, it's gonna be happy it's only Sanking who died. And Echo Slam's down. It's not a nice little piece of information to have, just a peace of mind, as far as M19 is concerned. But from the FTD was a top push though. Queen of Pain currently here, so no Shadow Shaman that can drop some wards and do some chip damage to the tower. But it'll force our TPs regardless.
Matching up with prize.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what M19 does now, because they definitely want to keep the pressure up and just make sure that Comanche doesn't feel too safe about moving around the map. So it's gonna be away.
Smoked up just out of vision here. Phonic gets silenced up, so Blink still blinks in. Couple of spells being used, he's still alive, now moves himself up to the end. RTW just runs them down with the BKB. Double kill for him so far. Sonic trying to skewer away, and now Martin is infest into MT. Blink can't get off because the lasso still available here. They get one, they get two. Well, RTW controlled up, and Martin, he just does barely have the damage. to finish him off before he takes the spell himself. Triple kill for the Lina with the help of that double damage zone. The only silver lining is that they don't actually have a creep wave right there to immediately go for high ground. But, well, 50 seconds down on a life stealer, 30 seconds on a Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it's Roshan time now.
Yeah. Looks to be the case here.
That's what I thought about. Like, they got a really big team fight with victory, and now they can just safely go for Roshan. Comanche won't be up in time to contest. Do they, actually? Looks like they're back.
Well, without Gyro, it's super slow, because it's your only really good source of physical damage, apart from the Lina, who does have the plus 50 damage talents, but it still
I guess it would have been
quite a while.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit risky, so yeah, I'll buy that. That's probably the safe move.
Yep. I mean, this is an elimination series. If M19 loses this game, then they're out of the tournament. So it's
that's
something worth keeping in mind.
And Lina has the Shivas now, which is really good against the Nakes. Nakes won't really be too much harm for her anymore.
Building Shivas, 15 charges on Bloodstone. He's definitely feeling well. Oh god, the lift. They find the Queen of Pain. You follow by the Light Struck Array. That is such a good kill to get.
See if they go high ground here or Roche. I would say high ground is probably. I mean, Roshan is the safe move. It's like they're pinging it out also.
Yeah, securing the immediate area. Now with Jarkop back, they can much more easily take it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Do they have a medallion or something? Doesn't look like it. No way to make it any
Shouldn't be.
faster. So, but yeah, I don't think Comanche really feels comfortable going into that kind of situation.
Shadow Shaman is doing the rat thing again, getting another tier 2. That's always nice though.
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
tower has fallen.
Gotta do what you can. It's like what M19 did last game, just trying to play the full push game. Buy yourself more time, and well, if you can hold out for a couple more minutes, then the ages will have expired, and we're back to square one, at least when it comes to how many lives are on each side on the fight.
It's not the easiest lineup to go high ground against though. We'll see if they want to use this Aegis. They're probably just gonna play very aggressive, very in their face, and try to get a kill and then go high ground. Or if they're actually just gonna get.
Well, that is. Last one comes through. NT is being controlled now. The fissure from the Rubik. Trying to help out before it gets hexed. He will be traded away, but it's a 1-for-1 for the Queen of Pain. And now, look at the Hakon. He will be dragged down instantly. Not before it gets another fissure off, but 2-for-1 trade. Buyback available on the Soul Shaker with the Echo Slam. Might be necessary here if M19 decides to go high ground. They're only missing the Rubik.
They're definitely gonna pressure this a bit.
Yeah. Just gonna
Play
wait for the
wave
next wave. Lifesteal is there. Rubik says, careful guys, there's a blink, there's a Shadow Blade Magnus even. Don't see a sentry down, so this might actually catch him off guard here, but no, just straight up blink skewer. Right on top of Gyrocopter, but they don't quite bring him down. Double force out, getting back out, but Echo Slam on 3, follow up with the Shockwave and the fissure. They take down supporting cast, and LCW pops the BKB, but man, still doing a decent amount of physical damage at this point. But not enough to do that, but hey, look at this! YP wasn't even used, so ready to cancel TP with it. Great turnaround play, Comanche. Found the perfect opportunity for the Echo Slam, and then just holding on to that RP, knowing that they didn't need it on top of it. Actually secured the Gyrocopter kill too, so that'll be another one. Rubik just tanks a Sonic Wave to the face. It's actually still alive. The courier not so much though, okay. That also works. Phonic blinking in, Hakon as well. That's a bit of an interesting position here with the stuns going through. Comanche, they get gifted so much more than Rubik kill. If they can finish off this battle out of here. Four stars every which way. Rubik is back to fight and NT. Well, he finished off that kill. Rubik with another blink ad stolen from the Queen of Pain.
Lucky though that Sanky managed to get the gem that Batrider had. If they lost that gem too, it would have been... Okay, it's already really bad, but it would have been even worse.
Yeah. Also lose to tier 2. They also will probably not have to buy back on anybody. Maybe they do though.
They are gonna pressure this hard.
They're actually gonna be the first ones to take a tier 3. Now, well, BKB comes through LTW. He's pretty damn angry. He will finish up the Earthshaker after an initiation from Misha, so that'll be that. Tier 3 is down though. That'll open up the shrines at the very least for Comanche to look forward to.
Regeneration.
Oh, cards. She might still be in trouble. Looking to turn this around. The Hex follow-up is there. They blow up the Sanking. And now TP through from the Rubik. Blinks across. Finds a lift on Shadow Shaman. They might lose card in return. That's something that would have happened anyway. With or without that kill. Damn. Comanche, signs of life. You're feeling empowered after that successful high ground defense.
I mean, it really took that's
Iconic. Yeah. Setting up for that extra kill on Magnus.
This game is quite back and forth.
Yeah.
But that was an extremely good turn of events for Comanche. I think M19 had like 12k goal lead or something at one point, and now it's down to 4k, and Comanche even got their tier 3, so they will be able to get the shrines.
Now smoke up here, obfuscating the position. They've got to see this again. The Echo Slam bring down Nyx immediately to silence on Batrider, and they did get the control onto the gyrocopter. So LTW down a half health with the BKB gets a BK. Gets RP'd up, but man, actually control cannot finish the kill right off the bat. So Comanche, they're using some heroes here. So they did get too big down. She is down. Hakon with his own BKB finds the control on the Batrider. Forced up across the high ground NT with a blink after. Couple more right clicks will finish him off to 4-for-1 trade and make that a 5-for-1. All of the trees are taken out with Skewer across on Sonic. No way to escape for the Rubik. Just like that. It almost looked like they would have been able to turn around, but ultimately Gyrocopter staying alive as long as it did not end up mattering.
And now we're back to 0 goal lead. Or they're probably even gonna surpass them.
No.
Are they actually gonna be able to get a Rax here?
Below 1k. Maybe at least buyback. I mean, they have another set of Shadow Shaman wards. The only problem is the card is a long way away from actually being able to deploy them.
So they're not gonna go for any crazy YOLOing on their axes.
You say that, Martin. It's never Desolators. It's actually not all that fast. But it can rage up and finish the melee axe here. Blink skew on the Nyx. It's gonna be so big. Stalker to follow, a couple right clicks, no buyback on this Lena. They'll definitely secure the racks at the very least. Chant Totem for the Rubik, not exactly the most useful spell to have.
I guess they're just gonna go safe for the shrines now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not sure, do they know that Lena doesn't buy back? Otherwise, I mean, the top racks would have been quite easy to get. But they might think that Lena doesn't buy back.
I don't know if they checked the inventory or something and saw the part of the BKB.
Yeah, but it's the safe assumption to make that he's gonna have buyback. So
yeah,
this game definitely took a turn to the wrong for M19.
Yeah, they were in complete control, and then just goes to show how easy it is to turn things around if you have these big teamfight ultimates and actually find the right opportunity to use them.
Yeah, that Shaker Echo Slam started all off the 3-man.
Yeah,
beautiful one.
Definitely a good candidate for headline audio MVP of the game in bottom lane. Okay, Shadow Shaman. Try to TP out, gets caught by Sanking, and now, well, forced to fight. Has some help coming though for the dire sides. It'll be eventually a dead Shadow Shaman and not much else.
Kat doesn't go down without a fight.
No.
Turn around and dealt the damage that he could before dying.
Well, Sanking pretty damn low as well, so who knows? If that was a 1v1, maybe Misha just ends up having to retreat there. As it stands, Lasso Comanche showing themselves mid. Oh, there it is. Blink last on NT. BKB is available here. No, you need follow-up. So that is turnarounds there. Hakon with the Echo Slam falling. Well, dodges some of that damage. He will still end up falling first in this particular skirmish. Now, LTW. Well, BKB of his own. Man, and there's your Peon too. They just need to follow up damage here. Man with the power. 1, 2. Let's get the third swipe in. Hakon tries to do what he can, but he will eventually fall now. The Infest calling retreat. NT still getting have some support at the very least in the back. Blink across. Joining up with Sonic. The rocket will connect here. The Lexus is actually still around here, coming back. Out the creep. LTW slowed down. A couple of right clicks will finish him off with the help of the Orchid. Now the skewer kicks, catches next here, and he'll get the kill on Sonic. But at what cost? At what cost?
That looked to be quite a good fight for M19 at that one point there, but Comanche is just coming out on the top anyways.
Barracks are under attack.
Now they're coming into the bottom. 3 buybacks forced out. I'll go for the retreat. Man with his Lincoln Sphere protecting himself up against the blow. Get a burst strike, but of course that big trigger means you can't rely on the BKB TP. Another Infest though. There's not gonna be any raiding creep anytime soon to kill that amazing one.
Sure, M19 is very frustrated about this Infest every freaking team fight they take.
Alright. What once was a 12k gold lead for M19 is now more than a 6k gold lead for Comanche. Where does it leave us right now? What does M19 need to do now to stabilize and get back into this?
Worthy tribute.
Well, I thought I talked about, if Comanche gets to be in this position, their team fight is gonna make it really hard for M19 to fight. But they have this Batrider and the Lina. They're really good pick-off heroes. They need to start finding they can't really take these team fights. They need to be able to kind of spread out the map and find pick-offs that they can really excel at.
Well, so far though, looks like another team fight in the making, Hakon, on the Earthshaker. Looking for the dunk, but they get initiated on first. Yeah, Burst Strike comes through, Lifesteal drops out, trying to find a target. He'll die, but Mimo, Echo Slam in the front. Here, ILTW gets nuked down. Buyback from the Sand King, but it's already too late. M19, they have to go for the retreat without the gyrocopter. The way they win this fight here, Rubik. Well, that's not P. On to Nyx here. That's a dead Lina. A couple more Rex will do the trick, but BKB make sure that you can at least run away a little bit easier. Misha with another Burst Strike, creating more of that space. NT just find the right blink distance here on the Linas. Instead, goes back for Rubik. Finally finishing up this guy, who's been able to keep himself alive quite nicely with a stolen blink, I believe. Oh, Lina. Oh, caught by Sonic here. Just keeping tabs of him. And now, well...
Oh.
A light strike array. Was quite lucky.
Happy little accident.
Yeah.
He is making space here.
Oh, friend, the Orchid, and insta deny. No other way out of this one. Oh, Epicenter. I'm not sure about this, Misha.
Oh.
Will not do anything. He tried to go for his kill on Sonic, but as it stands, couldn't quite find the right angle for the Burst Strike.
So in the Roche fight, they found a really good go on the Shaker, but Lina was just a smidge too late with the follow-up stun, and they didn't know he had BKB, so he got it off. And then
he said that they had that for a while.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure, but either way, the Lina was just a little bit off with the timing of her stun and cost them a lot.
Well, none of them had buyback. Gyrocopter will finally be back. And once again, Comanche making the safe play. Just take the racks, get the hell out. Roshan didn't even die during all of this, so that's another objective that they can go back to after finishing up this extra shrine. They're just holding all the cards right now.
Yeah. But this is pretty hard game for M19 to win at this point. Definitely, I think sadly what needs to happen is Comanche needs to screw up a bit of their fights and kind of let M19 come back into the game. Don't think there's really anything M19 can do to just kind of head on win the game from here on. But I mean, Dota is Dota. Mistakes happens all the time, so
Game's not over until the Ancient explodes. As
everyone
things are
makes
right now.
mistakes
This might
all the
happen
time.
pretty damn soon, but well, haste rune. Was that haste rune? No, double damage rune actually.
That was good. If Nyx would have gotten that DD, then it would have been a scary.
Okay, Funny finds
good
initiation, but Card does as well. Drops on the wards. He'll die immediately though with the BKBs coming through in the back. Yuppie! Onto 2, follow from NT. The right clicks are there from Shaco and Man. This should be it. 2 big cores down the drain. The Yakko Slam in the back. And GG is called M19, just like that. They're out of the tournament.
That was an ugly turn.
Yeah.
Fnatic had a valiant effort there the last 2 fights. He did find the Shaker that had been causing so much issues for them.
Yeah. Ultimately, you're just too far behind. And just this up here in the end from Sonic. He really came through on his Magnus. These kind of clutch moments, him and Shaker both Jago.
Sonic is a very annoying player to play against
Yeah.
because he has this 3 heroes that he's like really, really good at. It makes drafting and strategy-wise annoying.
Yeah. All right, time to give out some MVPs of the games in the series, I suppose. Game 1, don't think you actually mentioned that, but I was gonna give it to NT just because he was able to keep himself alive and come back from a kind of a bad laning stage with a crazy scoreline. So it's the Endline Audio MVP for game number 1 for me. For this game, who do you think? It's kind of a hard call to make, isn't it?
I would give it to. I definitely agree it's hard, but I would give it to Hakan just because of that, like the Echo Slam that actually like set the motion to make the comeback. The 3-man Echo Slam in the base, that was the real turnaround for them, I think.
Oh yeah, I can go with that. It wasn't just that one; he found so many good Echo Slams even after that. So yeah, I can definitely go with that. And for the entire series, though, I just want to give it to Sonic because his Morphling in game number 1 was also pretty damn good. Always finding the follow-up stuns, just making sure that to keep like the heroes like the Juggernaut controlled, makes for easy kills. Right, if you find a Juggernaut first, lock him down for God knows how many seconds, so that he can't spin, can't Omnislash, can't do anything.
4.25.
Seems good, right? But yeah, so that's combined with the Magnus plays this game. Probably want to give him the MVP of the entire series, yeah. So Comanche, very strong performance here. I'm super impressed by their play.
Yeah, I casted them. No, I don't remember which one. I casted their early game too, and they also had a very strong performance. So they seem to be finding their stride.
All right. Well, that's going to end our broadcast for the day, guys. For those who obviously noticed, my apologies on the graphic issue. Didn't catch that quickly enough, and there was an issue switching it back. But thank you guys for watching today. So I don't know when we'll be back with more Blood in the Streets, but that will move M19 into the losers finals, losers finals, and we'll see who they will be up against between Singularity and Danish Bears. That match is going to take a little while to determine, but hopefully we'll be able to figure that one out soon. Thank you guys for watching. I'm the Source. Joining me was Drag and Drop Dota and eSkill Dota. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time. This has been Blood in the Streets Dota 2 Championship, brought to you guys by FirstBlood.io and Antlion Audio. See you next time.
Thank you for watching.